Everything you do in life and business is faith, whether you realize it or not. You don't need to know steps 1 through 10 in order to be successful. It's far easier to start your own business that makes $250 than it is to find a job that makes $250. The best people in the world who love what they do, they don't go to work. They get to go to work. It's a privilege because they love it. Those kinds of people are living in all 3 of those zones. Most people are in 1 or 2 if they're lucky. What's up, wealth builders? So we had a Wealthy Wednesday live stream. We're going to be holding these every single Wednesday across every platform. You can actually be live on the show if you go to my Twitter on Wednesdays at 3:30 p.m. They're super fun. This one, we actually had my co-host Blake with me, and we talked about what it takes to build a 7-figure business. Along the way, we also gave away a ton of free prizes to lucky listeners, and we're going to be doing that every single week. So I think you're going to enjoy this conversation that we had live about how I think Blake could build a 7-figure business and how you could apply that to yourself as well. So that being said, let's jump into the episode. So many people, you know, they're like, dude, I'm trying to quit my job or I'm struggling. Like, how do I scale a business, right? How do I start a business? How do I scale a business? And the last, yesterday, I released a YouTube video talking about the framework of make, manage, and multiply. And I think it's really important to understand this framework. So I'll go over it for about 2 minutes. Basically, the framework is this. Number 1, do one kind of skill. Okay. One skill. Okay. Too many people are trying to do like 5 things because they think that, oh, well, I'm going to get some passive income over here. I'm going to get, you know, I got a little side hustle doing this and I can do that. And I'm like, bro, you ain't ever going to gain ground doing that. So I want people to make $250K doing one skill first. And we're going to talk about that. Like making $250K, I don't want to say it like it's this easy thing, but I want to say it as like, this is the goal in one thing, not doing a bunch of things that make you a little bit of money. So that's step 1, make $250 in one thing. Then it goes to step 2, which is what we're talking about here of, hey, now that you've learned how to do one thing really well, now let's learn how to scale it. Let's learn how to hire people. Let's learn how to delegate. Let's learn how to hire. Let's learn how to fire. And from there, let's build it to $1 million business, right? Once you've built $1 million business, then you can go to stage 3, which is multiply. And that's when you start really scaling and reinvesting the money you're making back into your business or buying real estate as rentals or buying other businesses. Like that's the framework. Make, manage, multiply. And here's the thing, guys. I want to talk about stage 1 since most people are in stage 1. Okay. Let's talk about making $250. Okay. There's lots of ways to make $250,000, right? You could go the route of just working a job, and there's lots of jobs out there that pay $250, believe it or not. I think it's far easier to start your own business that makes $250 than it is to find a job that makes $250.
I mean, look at 5 years in.
Yeah.
I'm just barely getting there.
You're just now breaking that in the tech space where, you know, you're in high paying fields, right?
Yeah.
So I think that if you're trying to conquer stage 1, it's definitely going to be from starting a business. I think that's way easier than anything. Now, there's a concept in a book called Good to Great called the Hedgehog Concept. There's 3 circles, right? And the 3 circles are this. Number 1 is passion, right? You can say passion or purpose. Number 2 is your financial engine. And number 3 is, are you world-class at this? Okay. And so anything that you're going to pursue as a business, you're going to look at these 3 circles and see where you stand. Okay. And so, you know, number 1, as far as passion goes, do you have passion about this business that you're doing? Number 2, are you world-class at it? Are you actually good at it? Right. Or can you become good at it?
Right.
And then number 3, can this drive your financial engine? All right. These are the things you got to ask yourself. Now, the best people in the world who love what they do, they don't go to work. They get to go to work. It's a privilege because they love it. Usually those kinds of people are living in all 3 of those zones. Okay. Their career fits all 3. Most people are in 1. They're just doing a job, or 2 if they're lucky. Okay. So let me explain like what 1, 2, and 3 look like. So 1 would be, okay, you're at the bare minimum. You're not passionate about your job. And you're definitely not like world-class at it. You're just doing it because it gives you a paycheck. Let's just say the guy flipping burgers at McDonald's, right? He's He's not world class at flipping burgers. So he's not a Michelin star chef.
Right.
He's, just doing it. Like his financial engine isn't very big, but it's paying his bills for what he wants. And he doesn't have passion behind it, right? So that's 1 out of 3. And there's lots of people who work 1 out of 3 jobs. I'll just give you an example. Like you're a bank teller. It's like, I don't know many bank tellers that are passionate about being the bank teller, maybe, but they're doing it because it's a job. It makes them enough money, but are they world class at it? I mean, maybe they are at being a bank teller, but they probably want something a lot more than that, right? So that'd be a 1 out of 3 example. Now let's use a 2 out of 3 example, because you're actually an example of this, and I am too, in different lives. So a 2 out of 3 example would be like when I was a minor league baseball player. I was world class at it. Obviously, I got drafted, so that's one of the best people in the world at that craft. I was passionate about it. I loved baseball, and it was something I could do forever. I mean, you're passionate about something when you would do it for free.
Yeah.
And in the minor leagues, we were making $1,200 a month.
So we may have even been paying to play.
Yeah.
At that point.
At that point. So we were definitely passionate about it. But did it drive my financial engine? No. Like it did not make enough money. So I had to get other jobs. So that's something that over time I just realized I kept playing because of the passion and all that, but I had to realize I have to go make financial gain from somewhere else. You are a musician, right? And so right now you think about you as a musician, and number one, you have passion for it, obviously. Number two, you have talent for it. You've produced music, and you've got a lot of streams and everything on Spotify. Go check them out on Spotify, by the way, guys. Blake Hasselbrock. But does it pay your bills? No.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, but it could.
Right. It could.
Right? So, when you start thinking about this, you're like, man, how do I get 3 out of 3? You might not be able to get 3 out of 3 right now, but you could pick something that might become 3 out of 3. So for you, music could be 3 out of 3. You just got to figure out a way to monetize it better, right?
Absolutely.
But 3 out of 3 for me, I'll just tell you guys right now, let's just take the house flipping business. That was my first 3 out of 3. I was world class at it. I got really good at flipping houses. I was passionate about it. I love real estate. And 3, it drove my financial engine. I definitely made a lot of money flipping houses. We've made millions of dollars. So 3 out of 3. When I got into social media and education, the same thing happened. I was like, well, okay, let me go try this out. Okay, I'm really good at this. I'm world class. It makes a lot of money, and I'm passionate about teaching. Cool. 3 out of 3. So, the biggest successes in my life with starting a 7-figure business have always been when I'm 3 out of 3. Okay. So for all of you listening right now, if you're trying to figure out how to start $1 million business, this is the very first thing you need to do, right? Because if you're not passionate about it, you can most certainly start a 7-figure business, but how long are you going to keep with it? Right. That would be like the golden handcuffs. We see this in Wall Street all the time, where it's like, dude, you work a job because it makes you good money and you're good at it, but you're not passionate about it. Right. The other side of the coin is if you're not naturally good at it, I don't know if you might want to be in that business.
Yeah, right.
So,
uphill battle.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle, right? So pick things that you're naturally strong at. And then the last one is money. Money's the one where I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, there's lots of variables to money. Maybe there is a way to be a musician and make a lot of money. Other people do it. Drake makes a lot of money, right? So maybe you're just not doing it right.
Right.
Or, there are positions that just have a cap, right? When I was flipping couches, I kind of reached the cap. I was making $8,000 a month, and I was basically maxed out.
Which is the king of couch flipping at $8K a month.
Yeah, but now there's a lot of these people that are doing it at $20K a month. So they're killing it. They're a lot smarter than I was. But still, even at $20K a month, they're pretty much maxed out.
Capped, right?
Yeah. So there's not much more that they can do.
Right.
So there's definitely a limit to everything. And I've realized even for me as I've gone into new industries where I'm like, man, okay, there's a limit. There's a limit to flipping couches, right? With flipping houses, I mean, I know some really big house flippers, some guys who do 8 figures a year. They might go do $10 million, $20 million, but that's kind of the cap, right? There are a few companies that can do more than that, but they're the outliers. Whereas you look at pro athletes, I mean, dude, these guys make millions and millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can make hundreds of millions. Like, so it's like you look at it and you're like, okay, like an athlete's cap would be LeBron. LeBron's going to be a billionaire from being an athlete. So he's in an industry that he's passionate about, he's really good at, and it can make him as much as he wants to make, right? So every industry has a cap. Flipping houses has a cap to what it can be. And that's why I've kind of like moved up the chain of like, okay, well, education and social media can be far bigger than flipping houses. You know, tech, which is why I'm passionate about Tykes, can be, you know, 9 figures, could be $1 billion.
Infinitely
like
scalable.
Tech is just one of those industries that's massive. And by the way, speaking of Tykes, I forgot to mention this, but I am giving away 2,500 Tycoin to 3 different people. Okay.
Nice.
So this is going to be people on the Twitter, and here's how it's going to work. For those who I see have the most engagement on Twitter, who are hyping it up and everything, I'm going to, you know, reward those people and give them 2,500 Tycoin. So what can you do with Tycoin? Well, with 2,500 Tycoin, you could buy 1 general admission ticket to WealthCon, which is April 4th to the 6th. You could get one of our brand new courses. You could, you know, get a bunch of other things from the marketplace. So you definitely want to join the Twitter feed if you want some free stuff.
And you don't have to be a holder to earn this Tycoin. This is open to everyone, right, Ryan?
Yep, everyone. Yep. I want people to understand what we're doing at Tykes and the ecosystem, and it's amazing. That's where I got this sweet hoodie I'm wearing today. This is our limited edition. There's only 100 of these hoodies with Make, Manage, Multiply and just purpose and everything else. I think that money's one of those things that you can figure out as time goes on, as you get more creative with it, right? So if I was you, Blake, and you're a musician trying to build a 7-figure business, what you would do is you would look at all the other 7-figure musicians, right? And you would say, how did these guys get here? You would even look at the 8-figure, the 9-figure, and even the billionaires, right? Like, it's funny because I look at like Rihanna, who was just on the Super Bowl. Rihanna's a billionaire, right? And what did she do? Well, she started out in music. She made some millions in music. And then, you know, she started opening up other businesses with her fame. And sure enough, she partnered with Louis Vuitton and started a company called Fenty.
Yep.
And now she's a billionaire from that company. So if you were like, hey, how would I become a billionaire as a musician? Rihanna laid the path. I don't know if Jay-Z's a billionaire, but, you know, probably close to it. With musicians, I think about like, okay, how can musicians make money? And I'm like, all right, the first way they used to make money was tours, right? Going on tour and selling merch was like the preferred way to make money. And then there was obviously like CD sales.
Yep.
Obviously that's not a thing anymore.
Right.
But you look at it now and you're like, okay, well, you can be a streamer and you can do that. And it's like, how much are you going to make on streaming? Probably like not a ton. I mean, you have Spotify. How much have you made from streaming?
Yeah, probably, I don't know, like $10,000 a year. And it to make 7 figures streaming, you have to be a 100 million stream kind of artist, where you're having 100 million streams per year or per month. Can't remember which, but to that point, I feel like most of the musicians that you see could be really well correlated back to a lot of the other businesses out there that you're seeing, because it's a skill that takes time and energy to hone, but it's so much more than the skill. I've heard some of the best music that I've ever heard from Spotify accounts or SoundCloud accounts that have less than 100 streams per month. And so it's not always the product. The product does matter, but at the end of the day, to your point, it's how much energy. Well, a little tangent here. When you're talking about the Make piece, the 250 piece, and the Hedgehog Concept, what I hear a lot of the time is folks that don't consider areas that they're passionate in as an option at all. So first, in my opinion, it comes with the belief that you are able to go outside of the box and choose an avenue to devote your life to that's going to suit your heart and your passion.
Yeah.
That's step one. There's so many people out there that don't have the self-worth or the belief to even consider some of the areas that they're passionate in as a revenue generating piece of their life.
It can be.
It can be.
Anything you're
No matter
passionate
what.
about can make you. I honestly believe your passion can be a 7-figure business. I
Oh, yeah.
really believe that it's just a matter of strategy. I've said this example before somewhere, but my guy who did my pickleball court, I played pickleball one time, okay? And this guy came to my house and I was like, hey, I want you to build a basketball court because like I grew up playing basketball. He's like, dude, this would be a great spot for pickleball. And I was like, dude, I played it once. It was fun, but like, actually, no, I hadn't even played it that time.
Yeah, 0 times.
I hadn't played yet.
We
but
just talked it up much.
You guys talked it up. You guys were like, pickleball's great. Then he was like, dude, you should really do pickleball. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'll just do pickleball. Like he convinced me because he was so passionate about it.
Well, and a little secret about Ryan, if he hears something 3 times in a row,
yeah,
it's happening.
Yeah.
It's confirmation.
I get confirmation. If I hear it multiple times, I'm like, all right, fine, I'll just do it. And I do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, all right, it's gonna be 50 grand. All right, let's do it. I never even played pickleball. So that's how I've always rolled. But you know, he ends up asking me about content and everything else. He's like, yeah, I want to create content, you know, all this. And I'm like, so what would you create content on? He's like, I want to create pickleball content. I just don't know how to like monetize it and make it worthwhile. I'm like, bro, I mean, there's lots of ways to create pickleball content and become a 7-figure guy. If that's your goal, right? Like you can be affiliate, you can start a pickleball coaching program, you can get sponsors and ads, you can create a pickleball community. Like imagine if you, just a simple business idea, right? You create a pickleball community that's $10 a month and you know, like you just have this great community of people and they get all these special cool things.
Yep.
At $10 a month, like lots of people would join a pickleball community.
Big time.
Right. And you know, how many members do you need? I mean, basically you got to make 100K a month. So what's, you know, 100K divided by 10, you need 10,000 members and you're there
At $10 a member.
Yep.
Offering value that, you know, there's folks out there doing that right now with pickleball that I've seen.
Oh, you've already seen it.
Oh
right.
yeah. They're doing it.
Like, so that's just an easy example of like, that's how you turn a passion into a business. And now here's the thing, guys. I'll break into it. Like we've gotten past the idea stage of, okay, these are the ideas of like, okay, I don't know what to start. The main key in order to grow this is number one, having a good business strategy that actually could lead to this. Cause I see a lot of people's business plans where they're flawed. They're like, oh yeah, like this is the goal. I'm going to build a 7-figure. I'm like, it's literally impossible to build a 7-figure business with what you're telling me you want to do. Right. So the strategy is not going to work, right? The strategy I just told you, $10, 10,000 members. Yeah, it'll work. Right. But if you were like, yeah, I want to build this pickleball community into $1 billion, you know, mentorship. I'm like, you would need like freaking a million
members
at least.
Yeah.
No, you would need like 100 million members.
Yeah.
And you're just like that. There's not that many like it's literally impossible.
You have, so this is back to my point about the self-worth piece and the belief. You also have to have some realism with your audience. And that's something that you and I have talked about quite a bit because in your businesses, before you even consider putting a business plan together, you have to understand that there's an audience out there. There's a market for what you're bringing.
Yep.
And
they call this the market size, like, or the TAM. What's the total addressable market?
Exactly. The total addressable market. And so, you know, what you just said is correct. Anyone's passion can be a $250K a year business.
100%.
Anyone's.
Anything. Yep.
I don't care if you're doing pottery or if you paint shoes. There's guys that paint shoes.
Picasso's passion of pottery and art made him, well, I think he was probably broke when he died.
Bad example. But now his family's.
But now he's, you know, it for sure, his passion was pretty valuable. Getting that 250 is the hardest part. And what I will say is if you're not passionate about it, you're less likely to get there. For example, when I first started out as a realtor, I had no passion for being a realtor. I liked real estate, but I didn't like being a realtor.
Right.
And so did I ever get to 250 as a realtor? No. Did I ever even get to 6 figures as a realtor? No. I was the crappiest realtor ever. And it's because I had no passion to get better at it. Could I have been a good realtor, like knowing what I know now? I absolutely could go out and I could go make 7 figures as a realtor right now if I wanted to do it because I have skills. But there's no passion behind it. So I wouldn't even do it. I couldn't get to 7 figures unless there was like a reason. And there's no reason.
Well, and nothing will keep your motivation stifled and keep you procrastinating, like trying to force yourself into a niche that just doesn't do it for you.
Yep.
Just doesn't do it for you. So many folks out there are forcing it. I'll say in my first few years of tech, I had to force it. I was forcing myself into a role that I really didn't care for. And it was the one out of one scenario. But then as you climb up, you realize, look, if I'm going to be doing this,
Yep.
I need to do it at a high level so that at least I'm compensated properly. And then sometimes things can become a passion.
Yeah.
So that's, you know who Mike Rowe is? The dirtiest jobs guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He always says, we preach too much to follow your passion in America. And that some of the happiest people he's ever met are the ones that took opportunity over passion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another piece of the puzzle that I would say, granted, yes, my passion is in music. That's where my talent is. That's where my heart is. It's monetizable. It's a work in progress. But at the same time, I've had opportunities over the course of my life that had I not taken advantage of them, even though they didn't seem like a good idea at the time in terms of my passion, I wouldn't be living a happy, fulfilled life the way that I am now. So I think that's part of the wealthy concept. Don't ever give up on your passion, but also be willing to take opportunities that can lead you there in the long run. So that's my 2 cents.
Before we get back into it, Real RC Designs had his hand up on Twitter, or her, I'm not sure, and wanted to ask a question. Is it cool if we take a question real quick?
Yep, I got my boy Alex. What's up, Alex?
Hey, Ryan. So it was just more like about the passion. I think when you talk about passion, I think it's my story. I came from Brazil, 2004, with a passion. So today at the Multiply, I'm at the Multiply phase, but I started in 2004 with just a passion. And I had to outwork everybody, and I did. I outworked everybody because I had a passion. And and also not only because of the passion, I very humbly speaking, and I'm very humble on this because I knew I was good. So I knew I had the skills. So I had the passion, and I worked everybody. And today we have accounts like Marvel, DC Comics, Warner Brothers, and so. But why? Because it was a passion, and I worked out everybody. I was willing to prove myself triple because I was looked down because I was like, oh, from Brazil or whatever. But that never impacted me. I was like, you know what? I'll work out you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every single day. So that was like the passion. The passion part is very, very important. So just a comment.
Yeah. Alex, do you mind sharing what avenue you're passionate in and how you built that business? Because I'm intrigued now that I've heard Marvel and DC. It sounds like you may be an artist.
Yeah, no, we have a design and fine art business. We serve the licensees for the studios, so we are actually authorized by the studios, officially authorized to serve their licensees. So we create designs, we make collectible pieces. So there's a lot of things that are under NDA that I can't share, but it's on a design fine art space. So we serve them in many different ways, but we serve them through their licensees. It's just like a network of people that service them, and we are one of them. But so we are one of the only five studios in America.
Awesome.
It has it's really authorized, and then we have a sponsorship. We are sponsored by Epson as well. So it's just the reason I'm saying this is I think a lot of people are listening to this and maybe starting from nothing. I started from nothing, zero, but I was willing to outwork everybody. That was my main drive in the beginning.
Yeah. And I think another important piece of your story is not only were you starting from nothing, but you're starting in an industry that is very volatile. It's not, hard work does not equal success in the arts. And so the fact that, you were able to recognize your own skill set, see a need in the market, and then apply hard work to that to get you ahead. I think it's awesome, man. You should be really proud, and we're pumped to have you on here.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, and Ryan says this all the time. You have to be good. You cannot fool everybody all the time. We've been in business for 15 years now, so it's just it's hard to fool people for 15 years. So you have to be good.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's why I say you got to be world class at what you do if you want a 7-figure business. Bums ain't starting 7-figure businesses off the street, right? It takes a lot of work.
Yep.
So You know, you
Hey,
got to be
Ryan.
passionate, world class, and it's got to be money. What's up, Joey?
So the AP Mike actually has a Mob Ties PFP, not a Lazy Lion, and he's actually going to be at the event on Friday. So we're DMing right now, and he's telling me how he's actually excited to meet you this weekend at the Mob Ties event.
By the way, so for those of you who don't know, and this is why Tykes is so amazing, we do a ton of like secret events for our Tykes holders. And so tomorrow, actually, we 20 of our Tykes holders are going to dinner with Michael Francis. He's a old school mob boss. You guys may have seen him on YouTube, and we're gonna have dinner with him, 20 of us.
Cool.
And Friday, we're actually holding our first event in our new event center here for our Tykes NFT holders and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, if you guys are interested in Tykes, you can go to tykes.io and book a call with our team, and they'll help you out. We got a college kid asking me, how do you get into the real estate market? So when I graduate, I don't need to get a real job. Here's how. Kyle, I'm going to give you 2,500 Tycoin as the winner so that you can attend WealthCon and realize you don't need college. You can just come to WealthCon and we'll teach you what you need to know. And you'll realize your degree is kind of useless if you want to get into real estate.
That's huge.
Gordon Mack, yo, Ryan, I was at one of your Future Flipper events in Vegas last year. With info I learned from you, I closed on my first investment property this year, currently renovating to prepare for a rental. Dude, I love that, Gordon. And I appreciate the $5. Gordon, we got to get you to WealthCon Hollywood, man. You know, if you were at a Future Flipper event last year, our events have just gone up to a whole nother level with the wealthy movement. Billy says, is WealthCon for more than just real estate? Yes. So basically, WealthCon is for real estate, social media, and entrepreneurship. We've got people like Lewis House speaking. We've got Chris Crone. We've got Brent Daniels. We've got a whole list of people. We even have 9-figure entrepreneurs. My good buddy from Cuts Clothing, which you guys always see me wear, he's going to be speaking. Stephen Borelli, he's the founder. Yeah, Forbes Riley, Neil Patel. Neil Patel manages over $1 billion of ad spend.
Yeah, he's a killer. Best marketer out there.
Yeah, you know, we got Rob Ilt, the host of the Bigger Pockets podcast. We've got my friend Tim Story, Ricky Caruth. So it's going to be a killer event. You guys don't want to miss it. Attend WealthCon by going to wealthcon.org.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
You and I on Twitter, his name is You and I CO 2020, said, there's so many great people, I'll donate Tycoin as well. So now we have a community member himself.
Wow.
Willing to put up Tycoin to give away. This is, you know, if you're not familiar with NFTs, or maybe if you are, community is always thrown around as like a buzzword, right? Like, oh, we have the best community, our community, our community. You're seeing it right now on YouTube and on Twitter, the Tykes community and what you get from being part of this community. So you and I, if you want to just reply to what you just tweeted, if you want it just to confirm you're going to give away 2,500 too, we'll do another one. And I think Tony's up here. He wants to comment. He's the one that just won the 2,500 on Twitter. Go ahead, Tony.
Tony, what you got, man?
Hey guys, yeah, thank you. Appreciate for the Tycoins of the winning. This Twitter live feed is great. Learning a lot. I'm here in Portland, Oregon, and learning a lot and growing from your social medias. And I did attend the Tyke Summit previous in Vegas, and it was super motivating, inspirational. I did a little wholesale the past 6 months. I'm currently a realtor. I got my first listing 2 weeks ago, and just
nice.
A new trying to come up.
Yeah, no, I love it, bro. Well, I'm hoping to see you at WealthCon Hollywood, and it's gonna be fun, dude.
Yeah, congrats on that listing, man.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Awesome, thank you. And I recently just purchased the MVP for WealthCon with Tycoin, so
boom,
that's some good stuff.
By the way, I mean, he's talking about our MVP ticket. He got it with Tycoin. That's a $5,000 ticket, right? Like, so when I tell you guys what we're doing at Tykes is unheard of, and nobody's doing it. So it's pretty crazy. So Justin just donated $4.99. He said he's got an ATM and merchant service businesses, and he's teaching it, and he's making $30K a month. He's like, how do I get into real estate with 50 to 80K cash? Dude, with 50 to 80K cash, you can get in real estate super easy.
Hey, I'll give him 2,500 Thai coins so he can grab one of the courses in the marketplace.
Justin, you hear that? Joey Vowles is going to give you 2,500 Thai coin, so that you can get one of the courses to get into real estate or join WealthCon. So David said, I bought 5 Unleashed, and the amount of value so far has been great, and the community is amazing. I appreciate that, David. We have our second collection called Tykes Unleashed, which just launched, and man, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Tykes Unleashed is our newest collection where we're going to be investing and buying businesses together. So if you have an Unleashed, you'll be able to invest in businesses that I'm buying. But also if you have 5, you're going to be able to go on a private vacation mastermind with me. And so it's going to be really exciting. This mastermind is going to get announced here very soon. And if any of you are interested in Unleashed and being able to go to that mastermind, go to tykes.io and book a call with the team. And so we'll help you go get some Unleashed. So everyone knows these Wealthy Wednesdays are going to be every week. Okay. Yep. If you've enjoyed Wealthy Wednesday so far in this format, if you're on Twitter, throw some emojis and all those things up. If you are on YouTube, let me know in the comments. Are you guys enjoying this format? How you liking the live stream and the interactions? This is just the beginning. You know, like I plan to give away a lot of stuff on these Wealthy Wednesdays. I plan to bring in, you know, amazing guests and speakers. I plan to do a ton. So, you know, we're going to make things happen. And we're going to continue to just cover incredible topics. And, you know, I think I'm going to cut off the giveaways, even though as much as I would love to keep giving it away, because I do also, you know, want to make sure we hit content and topics and other things too. So, you know, I think we had like 10 we just basically gave away like 10 tickets to WealthCon today.
Yeah. 10K.
Yep. $10,000 worth of stuff. You know, as we start to wrap up here, guys, let me just say this, you know, first off, I just appreciate everyone who's coming to these Wealthy Wednesdays. I have one ask of you. Okay. These are obviously free and we're giving away like thousands of dollars of stuff, you know, 10,000 plus already. And, my mission is to do that every Wednesday. I'm going to be giving away Thai coin. I'm going to be giving away tickets. I'm going to be giving away, who knows, you might golf with me. There's going to be a ton of cool things that happen. I have one ask. Okay. It's that you spread the word. Every Wednesday, I need you guys to spread the word. Spread it on Twitter. Retweet. Spread it on YouTube. Spread it on Instagram. Let people know that, hey, this is the place to be Wednesdays, 3:30 Pacific time. If you're not here, you're a loser. Okay? That's what we need to spread the message on, because there's going to be so many cool things that happen. I'm going to bring on so many different people. You know, I had, I did a live maybe like a month ago, and Grant Cardone just hopped on because he saw I was going live on Spaces. So you never know who we're going to bring on to these shows out of the blue and who's going to be planned and everything else. I just want to recap for those who missed it. You know, today we talked about building a $1 million business. It comes to, you know, finding something you're passionate about, finding the right strategy that can drive your economic engine, and figuring out, hey, what am I good at, right? And I think all of us have the potential to do the 3M framework of making 250 grand doing anything we're passionate about. And then, you know, with some tweaking and other skills, you can, you know, manage and grow that business to $1 million business. I think that over time, you can also then start investing and going into real estate and all these other things. And real estate can be that vehicle for you. I believe all of you can make 250 grand plus from real estate investing. I think you could flip. I think you could wholesale. I think that you could do Airbnb, and, you know, we can help you out. So for anyone interested in getting into real estate investing, you know, we've talked about WealthCon and what an amazing event it's going to be. I think you guys should all go. If you're interested in getting into our coaching programs, you can go to wealthyinvestor.com and, you know, once again, book a call with the team. You know, it costs you nothing. You got to take action. It's the only way to change your life. Like, it's fun to hear about building $1 million business, but like, are you going to do it, right? Are you going to take the first step towards, building that business or not? Because if you take that first step, you don't really know. I talked about this on my Instagram story today of like everything you do in life and business is faith, whether you realize it or not, right? You don't need to know steps 1 through 10 in order to be successful. Okay. You have to just have a general idea of where you're going, which is me. I operate in that capacity all the time. I'm like, I kind of know where I'm going. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I know where I'm going. Right. And all I really need to know is the next step. I just need to know, hey, what is step 1 of this? Okay. And then from there, I'll figure out all the nuances of step 1, and then I'll go to step 2, then I'll go to step 3. And so for you, if you're lost and you don't know what to do, like I said, we got all these programs that can give you step 1, and then we're not going to overwhelm you and be like, all right, here's steps 1 through 10.
Yeah, right.
It's like, yo, you're in step 1. Like, let's get you through step 1. All right, cool. Now you've graduated. Let's get you through step 2. That's the mission.
And I'll say too, with step 1, that mindset, when you have instruction and coaching, you're able to take that step with even more faith, knowing that it's been reverse engineered by someone who's already done it. So from my perspective, tying things back to the subject of this whole podcast, building a 7-figure business, look for the pioneers that have done what you want to do already, and they've already reverse engineered the strategy. Then just take that next step toward that goal. So I think you've done an awesome job at putting that next step in place for everyone, at least in the areas that you've explored: social media, Airbnb, real estate, flipping, wholesaling.
Yep.
It can really help change futures. It's helped my life, and anyone that I've referred into this ecosystem has just had their life improved.